I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism back in 2003. I was working full time, studying part time for my MBA, still training, doing martial arts at that point in time. And I remember being or getting extremely fatigued, tired, no energy, couldn't function, couldn't think, couldn't study. It was quite a hectic feeling, and I remember wanting to sleep all day. So I would get up, go to work, go to train, and then get back home. And on the days that I didn't train, I would just like flop on the couch and take a late afternoon, early evening nap. We'd make dinner, and then I would literally go straight back to bed because I was totally exhausted. Got to my doctor because I just thought this is not normal, and did some blood tests, and I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism and then also an iron deficiency. And I was basically told, take this little white pill. I think it was Altroxin at the time, and some chelated iron supplement, on my way. And throughout the years following that, I took my little white pill in the morning, didn't really think more about it in terms of what actually caused hypothyroidism. What is the root cause for me, for my body doing this? Now, throughout the years, I've changed careers. I went into management consulting, very stressful, loved it, but extremely stressful. And I remember there were times where things got out of whack health-wise. And I would go to my doctor and we would test the thyroid, as you would do like every 6 months or yearly. And then it would go up or down or up or down. And we would make dosage adjustments, depending on my blood test results. But at no point did anyone ever think about doing an antibody test. I don't think I even knew about antibodies, and it just wasn't something that was talked about or even thought about. I've got hypothyroidism, my thyroid's underactive, here's my little white pill to for hormones. That's it. And so the roller coaster went on over the years, and it was in 2015 that it really hit me. So that year, I got really sick. Bout after bout after bout of illness, and I didn't really recover fully after any one of them. So I would get a cold, flu, bronchitis, just get over it, get bronchitis again. It was just crazy. And I was just not in a good space, health-wise, mentally-wise, all of that. And I thought, okay, let's get my thyroid tested. Maybe this is what's going on. Phoned my local doctor's office. I said I would like to make an appointment with my doctor, whom I've been with, for a couple of years already. We've managed this thing. And I thought, okay, let's just get it tested. And I think luckily for me, she was on leave that time. And they told me that she would only be back in 2 weeks. Would I like to wait, or would I like to make an appointment with a locum? And I said, please make the appointment with a locum. I'm not feeling well. Something's off. And I went to see the locum doctor. And she suggested, she listened to my story, and she suggested, let's test for antibodies. I'm like, okay, let's just do it, whatever that is. Gone to the lab, get the blood drawn, get the test. Well, I didn't get the test, but I mean, two days later, I get a phone call from the doctor's office telling me, please, I need to come see the doctor. Now, if you have ever received a phone call from a doctor where they tell you to please come and see them, something's wrong. And immediately, something's wrong, right? So I went to see her, and she told me that I have an autoimmune condition, likely, called Hashimoto's, and I would probably need to go see a specialist physician to get a sonar done so that we can confirm the diagnosis. Now, if you have received a Hashimoto's diagnosis and you were like me, so firstly I was completely shocked. An autoimmune condition is something that happens to sick people, right? It's not something, I mean, I'm relatively healthy. I've got hypothyroidism. Why on earth would I have an autoimmune disease? And of course, I did what everyone else does when they get a diagnosis. You go into Google, and I don't think there's, I don't know, how can I describe that time? I was so overwhelmed by information. It was so much. Do this, do that. This is what's wrong. This is what's going on. And you can get really sick, and these are all these symptoms. And it was a crazy time. And I got so overwhelmed with information, I literally shut down my computer and I went into ignorance mode for about 8 months. But after the doctor told me to please go see a specialist physician, I found a specialist physician, got an appointment, a couple of weeks later, went to get the sonar done of my thyroid gland, and he was just like, yeah, there's some nodules, scarring tissue on the thyroid gland. You absolutely have Hashimoto's, but there's no sign of cancer. So just his advice was eat more protein at breakfast and you'll be fine. So looking back, that was how I got my Hashimoto's diagnosis. And I must say, to be honest, I think finally receiving a diagnosis, yes, it was scary. Yes, it is frightening. And yes, I really didn't get much support from my doctor or the specialist physician, in terms of what can I do, what should I do, and how to actually, live with this. There was no support, basically. But the great thing is, with a diagnosis, you actually are empowered. Because now you are in a position of knowledge. Now you're in a position to make a decision. Are you just going to let it be? That's it. Or actually going to do something about it? And I think Hashimoto's, as an autoimmune disease, and yes, the impact and the symptoms are debilitating. I'll make another video about that. But it is manageable. There's a lot you can actually do to improve your health. There's a lot you can do to reduce the inflammation. There's a lot you can do to take your life back, improve your energy, feel great again, sleep normally. And yes, it is now 2024. It's almost 9 years since I got the diagnosis, and it's taken me, I think, a good 3 to 4 years of work and effort and working with my functional medicine doctor. We've changed meds. I have done a lot of lifestyle changes in terms of trying things and experimenting what works, what doesn't work. But I finally got that words that we all want from my doctor a couple of weeks ago saying, I'm in remission. And I'd like to keep it that way, but it's been work. But with that, I want to leave you with a message. If you've been diagnosed with Hashimoto's, it's not a be-all and end-all. It's not a drink a little white pill and you'll be fine. I wasn't fine, even after years of drinking the T4 levothyroxine medication. There's a lot you can do, but it's up to you. You have to make the decision that you're going to take action to improve your health. And I think that's what the Hashimoto's diagnosis did for me. It put the power back into my hands. And I think I've been healthier the last couple of years because of this diagnosis than I've been before that. That's how and when I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's.